Okay, today's video is going to be about how to feel like yourself again. How to feel like yourself again. And the reason I'm making this video is because I need to hear these things. I have been in a chapter of growth, and ever since I got home from my last solo trip, I experienced a lot of new emotions, a lot of new feelings, a lot of things that were brought to the surface. The reason I am in a period of growth right now, I experienced a lot of ups and downs in relationships, romantic relationships, and I'm dealing with this heartache, right? And that is a key factor. I became so aware of it that I was like, I want to share this on the internet because I think this is what a lot of people need to hear. These are the things that I do and I've been trained to do. The second I become aware that I'm in a stage of growth, I'm like, okay, it's time to get back to myself. It's time to be aware and do these things. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. But anyways, so I wrote them down, the things that I do to make me feel more like myself again, and I'm just going to read through them and kind of explain along the way. So let's go. First one, simple, clean your environment. Clean your environment because it clears your mind. It gets rid of all of those thoughts and, bubbling up emotions that if you have a clean space, you're able to think clearer. I think that's scientifically proven. I am a messy person. I am type B. I am the type B person. Messiness has never really bothered me. Being dirty does, but messiness doesn't really bother me, right? Because in my mind it's organized because I have all my things in the right ways. See my room right now, there's some things on the floor, but also I did clear my space because I'm in this point right now where I'm going through so much growth, so much change, so much expansion, and I want to be clear-headed for that. I want to be ready for it. Even before I go to bed or when I wake up, I make my bed, which again, as a type B person, that doesn't really matter to me. Now, in this chapter for me, it's necessary. I think part of that too is it helps me romanticize a little bit more, right? And when I'm going through this hard time, I think that's necessary to be seeing beauty in a lot more things. Seeing beauty in my life and the things that are happening. And when my space is clear, that helps me do so. So the next one has to do with the inner child. All I do is ask myself, the things that I liked to do as a kid. What did you like to do as a kid? For me, a huge thing is painting. I tell people all the time it was my first hobby, it was my first love, it was my first, true artist connection that I had. It's not necessarily a distraction, but it is something to put your mind to and to focus on something else, to kind of, break away from the repetitive thinking, the overthinking. What I love about this though is it also helps me soothe that inner child part of myself. I feel like I'm almost like the caretaker and respecting my needs, if I were the child. And so by doing these things, it doesn't matter what it is, right? Listening to music, doing puzzles, I don't know, what did you like to do as a kid that lit you up inside and that you could just tap into right now? It's kind of as if I'm meeting my needs again. After being stripped down emotionally, something that really fills me up again, and I highly recommend this one. Moving on, kind of connected to that last one, take time alone. And some people hate this, and I know some extroverts right now are like, no. Unfortunately, there is a level of self-realization and self-development that can only be reached when you take time alone, when you isolate yourself. Not extensively, but to the limit that you're aware of yourself and building your self-concept. I highly recommend just taking some alone time, and if that's difficult for you to do, then that also takes some realization, right? We need alone time as humans, and reflecting on who you are and re-meeting yourself again. This is a huge one. So my next one, I don't really know how to put this in a better term. Spring cleaning, but hear me out. When the seasons change and if you want to do some spring cleaning in your closet, you get rid of a lot of clothes. Because if you think about it, when we're going through this new chapter of change, there are things that need to be cleared out. And I'm referring to people, I'm referring to environments, I'm referring to just things in general. And so for me personally, a huge part of this was recognizing who stays and goes in my life. Who stays and goes. Another piece of that is environment. And again, as a traveler, I am completely in recognition that we cannot just pack up our things and leave, right? We're not all like that. At the same time, our environment plays a huge role in our healing process. Something else that I do to feel like myself again is recognizing that growth can only come when you feel safe. And this was not always known by me, and actually there's been plenty of moments in my life that I can look back when I was supposed to be going through this period of growth, respecting my change, and instead I was in an environment and just, in my body not feeling safe, and that actually really countered the experience. Sometimes when we're in a period of growth and we don't feel safe, whether that's our environment or just with ourselves, with our bodies, with our nervous system, that can really stunt our growth. And that can make us feel like we need to, change how we look, change our identities, change who we are, just to fit into a certain box. Reflecting back on my high school years and, transitioning into college, I remember this environment at home did not feel like a safe place for me to really explore my identity. Not only did it stunt my growth, but I think I grew in directions that, weren't really for me, going down a path that I didn't really want, and that I had been convinced that it should be my path, right? And so it's highly important that you do feel safe in this time. I'm someone who now, when I recognize that I need to feel like myself again, I want to get back to my core, I make sure to create this environment, create this space, and have the mindset that I need to be regulated in order to grow. Lately, and even in the mornings, I have a very slow morning routine. I'll meditate, I'll take my time. I want to regulate. This is my bubble, this is my space, this is my peace. And that I want to stay regulated the whole day so that I can, again, just grow in the way that I want. I absolutely love that we go through different waves throughout life, right? There are plenty of ups and there's plenty of downs, and I can recognize as a very self-aware individual when I am kind of in that either that middle space or going down. I don't want to go throughout life unconscious and just, riding the wave without even realizing what's happening. The last thing I want to say is something that I tell everyone, and it's that change is inevitable. Change is inevitable. Growth is a choice. As people, we have to realize that change is going to happen no matter what. The seasons are going to change. We're going to change as people. We're going to get older. We're going to go throughout different seasons of life. But if you don't choose growth, then you are going to be unconsciously just riding that wave and being very reactive and not seeing any transformation in this process. And so something that I've done is recognizing that with these ups and downs, I can choose growth. I can choose growth. But growth is not going to happen unless I actively choose it. I can go back several years ago recognizing that I was just letting, everything change around me, and I was almost resentful for that, right? Because I didn't want things to change. I wanted my friends to stay the same. I wanted my environment to stay the same. I wanted to be the same as other people, and yet change is inevitable. Feeling like myself again is recognizing that I am in this period of growth, right? Because I'm choosing it. And now it's time to take action. Otherwise, things are going to change regardless, and I'm going to be stuck in that middle ground. It's something that I feel deeply in my core. It's something that I do every time that I'm going through a period of transformation and I want to feel like myself again. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And please comment down below different recommendations you have for me. And